Hey, what's up, y'all? Hey, hello, welcome to the show. So there is some discord brewing over on Twitter, and I'm not gonna say this podcaster's name, but you're probably gonna know who I'm talking about. So the issue is with one half of FTR, Dax Hardwood, and apparently something was said about how awful or lackluster the AEW tag team division is. Now, I tried to do a AEW review, and I even said I don't understand what's going on with the tag team. And when I saw Dax and his volatile tag team partner, I said there's something off. Like, no one cares. So apparently this podcaster made the comment and it was retweeted by someone else, and then Dax got a hold of the comment and was very upset about someone speaking on what he perceived was the way he wrestles, when I think the critique was coming more from the booking. But this is the first time that he has spoken to this particular podcaster about giving unsolicited advice about quote unquote things they don't know. So this is the thing. I'm listening to this rant because it was pushed on YouTube, and I was cooking, so I just need the background noise. So him and his co-host is on there, and they're like really going in. And some things that were said were super bizarre, and I think over the top. And this is what leads me to this topic of discussion. The reason why I do a pro wrestling podcast is because, one, I don't see a representation of myself in this space. And the ones I do see are like I can count on my hands. And I have recently been seeing a little bit more of the girls coming down and joining this space. Another reason why I decided to do a podcast is because I'm tired of seeing the same cookie cutter, vanilla, Wonder Bread ass podcasters. And I'm just going to be honest. And I'm not the only one. Some of you have said that in my comments, that you're here for a different perspective. And I'm sure I say something that is like, oh, I don't want to hear this bitch, and you unsubscribe. Or you get in the comments and check me, which I would prefer you do. And we can have the conversation. Or, you know, you might perceive something I say as a little bit too political, or you're not here for politics, or whoop de whoop de whoop. But the thing is, politics, pop culture all collide in pro wrestling. That's something I enjoy. I'm also here because my background, I told y'all, I'm a social worker, it's clinical therapy. I work with, you know, populations that aren't really desired. And this psychology and emotion of pro wrestling leans heavily into social work, social systems, stuff like that, and I think it's super fascinating. So with that being said, I find it bizarre when someone says, I gave you praise and this is the thanks I get. Being a podcaster is, I was assumed to be a thankless job. I don't expect anybody to thank me if I'm up here celebrating the people I like, if I'm downing the people you like, or I'm critiquing something and you feel like I have no business critiquing it. All of this is subjective at the end of the day. But the people who are actually doing the work, the entertaining, they can be objective with their craft. It's already been said that wrestlers are extremely sensitive about what they do. Most people are. And the ones that understand that, they will tell you, I'm sensitive about my art. I'm sensitive about the product I put out. I don't want nobody disrespecting me. But you can critique me coming from a decent place. And I think across the board, we all can agree. A critique does not have to be punch me in the gut, punching down, disrespectful. This same podcaster had an issue, and when I say this, you're going to know what I'm talking about, with Alexa Bliss. The punching down, the need to be as over the top and rude as you can be just to get attention. This person is just as sensitive about their craft as Dax Hardwood is, which I found was hilarious. Because they tout how they're the number one on the IWC and they're the number one in the wrestling. Everybody else is shit and they're great and fuck you and suck this and suck that. And their, co-host is just sitting over there co-signing and not really pulling the reins on what's being said. Again, there's nothing wrong with giving critique. And I think it was some type of miscommunication because there was already a lot of disrespect going on within the AEW realm these last, 2-3 years. A lot of people who were singing praises of AEW have now turned the corner and are seeing things that they don't like, and they're expressing that as sharply and as hard as possible. And a lot of people think that at this point in the game, people should have thick skin and should be able to take whatever people say. But at the end of the day, people are human. And they are allowed to feel how they feel. It doesn't make them a pussy, soft, beta, none of that. But someone that goes out, according to Dax, put their body on the line to entertain, and then after a hard day work, sit on the couch, go to the Twitter and see somebody talking about this shit sucks, it probably does sting. I would say that too. I take my clinical therapy very seriously. I sit down with people and we brainstorm. And if I don't see a result after weeks and weeks of therapy, and they're just like, well, this bitch sucks, I would probably be like, well, fuck you. Like, what? You could have said that. We could have worked it out, or whatever the case may be. You ain't got to put me on blast like that. But in this world of podcasting, the only way to get attention and to get clicks and views and for YouTube to push you is to be as inflammatory as possible. And I learned that too. I've been doing this a while. I kind of slowed up for a minute, and then I came back, and then something just clicked. And I'm so happy everyone's here and experiencing this journey with me, because I don't plan on stopping. I want to get as far as I could possibly get until Triple H just turns me all the way the fuck off, or AEW, I just fucking go into a comatose state because the shit's so boring. But I enjoy pro wrestling. The topics and the content is just non-stop, like right now. But I just feel like the way this algorithm makes people a slave to it and does something to them, it takes the sensitivity and the sympathy and empathy out of things. I'm not going to go long with this. I just, listening to somebody say that statement, a lot of people say that after everything I did for you, you didn't do anything for nobody. You critiqued them and they came and attacked you. This isn't the first time. A lot of people feel real comfortable attacking famous people as if they're not humans. I don't go online and attack Jennifer Lopez, for example. I don't care for Jennifer Lopez. But it gotta be difficult to be in the public eye and everybody's calling you a shithead. So I can understand where Dax would be riled up because this guy is so fucking comfortable running his mouth. Because, he calls wrestling matches at an independent wrestling company, and he feels like he has the authority to say what he wants to say. I do agree that I don't wrestle. I've been put in wrestling moves. Like, I can tell you what a figure four feels like. I can tell you what a suplex feels like, and I can tell you what a full Nelson feels like, because my brother, unfortunately, did those moves on me, and it was fun at the time until I got injured. But for the most part, I can pretty much tell you those moves hurt, especially if the person's not trained. But I wouldn't sit here and be like, you know what, the way Rhea Ripley's form when she did that moonsault is just, Charlotte Flair doesn't need to do a moonsault. I don't have to do a moonsault to tell you that Charlotte Flair doesn't need to be doing a moonsault. But some people feel, if that's not your field, you should shut up and enjoy the show. I try not to step on too many people's toes when I'm doing this podcast, but I'm going to be real about what I expect as a consumer. I don't want anybody telling me what I'm supposed to do in social work, but you can tell me what you expect as a client, right? If your doctor's not giving you what you deserve or you feel you need, you can't tell the doctor his credentials suck, but you can tell the doctor, as a doctor, you're not doing what I expect of you, and so on and so forth. So to wrap this up, I really think a lot of podcasters in this internet space have really sullied and soiled the art of podcasting. You're supposed to have a regular conversation about cool topics, and then people could bounce off on it. It's not always rah rah rah, fuck this, suck this, fuck that. But it's not always all of that, because it's not that it's not that serious. To be completely honest, it's entertainment. So with all that being said, y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments if you made it this far, and I'll catch you on the next one.